Hey everybody, so this is the Echo PE200 Edger that I've been working on today, and it needs, I've already done a tune-up video on it. You saw that. It'll be posted tonight, along with the other videos I've done on the SRM210 and the PB200 blower. So this video will be posted along with those, like I said. So yeah, this is the PE200 I worked on, and the primer bulb just bursted. So yeah, that's nice. It's always nice when your primer bulb breaks. So yeah, I have a new primer bulb for it that I'm going to steal out of another fuel line kit I have for actually my string trimmer. And I'll tell you now, it won't need a primer bulb anytime soon. So here's the kit. Let's see if I can get this open here with one hand. Now this says it only fits like PE225, but it fits PE200. You just have to make the hoses a bit shorter or longer, depending on it. Like, I used the same kit that I used on the string trimmer on that PB200 blower, and it fits perfectly fine. So yeah, so we'll get to replacing this primer bulb here. Here's the new one. I bought it a while back, but it's still good. So I'll set this over here so it won't get dirty. So I'll go ahead and open up the air filter cover here. Get the air filter out. I'll set that down there. And what you'll want to do is remove one of the screws, this one right here, and it's going to be kind of hard to do with one hand, so I'll remove the screw and show you what to do next. Okay, so I removed the screw. It's pretty long. I showed you in previous videos. So I removed the screw and partially removed this one. I just kind of loosened it up a little bit. It actually needs to be loosened a bit more. This is just so you can access the primer bulb without having to take off everything. Take off the whole carburetor and have to deal with the fuel and stuff. So next, what you want to do is take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove these 4 screws here. They're holding this plate on. So you can just remove that. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I forgot to mention something. Once you remove, or partially remove this screw, you want to go back and just tighten it up. Even though doesn't have both screws in it, it'll be fine. It's just so that you can remove those screws on the primer bulb plate without the whole carburetor moving around. So if my assistant can hold the edger. Alright, that's tight. I just forgot to mention that, but that's what I did to make it easier so the carburetor doesn't wobble everywhere. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of the screws on the primer bulb, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got all the screws removed on the primer bulb plate here, and a little bit of fuel is going to drain out because it's in the primer bulb. So here's the plate, and I'm going to grab a paper towel here to wipe off the fuel that drained out of there. So I'll wipe off my fingers too. So I got a paper towel. So there's just gonna be a little bit of fuel, but you just want to wipe it up and make sure there's no gunk or anything in this on the plate on this plastic piece here, because that'll clog up the primer bulb. Or not the primer bulb itself, but the valves. So now you want to pop out the old primer bulb. There it is. And it just split right there. That seems to be a common place for it to split. But yeah, so I'm going to replace it. Here's the nice clean new one that will, and here's the plate. You want to set the primer bulb over it like that, and then pull the plate up like that, and then my assistant can hold it right there. I will put the screws back in and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I got the screws back tight on there, and the primer bulb is working. So now what I'm going to do is flip this plate around here, put it up in the proper way, and then put the screw back in and tighten up both screws. And before you do that, if you did the way I did it, without removing the primer, or without removing the carburetor, then you will want to loosen this screw and then flip it around so that you can hold it or put it back properly. But if you can, the way I did it, where I took this plate off and stuff, that still apply. You'll do that when you have the if you want to take the carburetor off. Like if you're gonna clean it or something, that's a good time to do it because you already have it off. But I didn't because it doesn't need it. But I took it off anyways, so that or I just did it on the machine to make it easier to do. So it just depends on your preference. It doesn't really matter. It's doing the same thing. It's not gonna do anything to it if you don't do it the same way I did. But yeah, the same procedure of taking that plate off and stuff will apply to when you take the whole carburetor off. So now I will take the screw out and then flip the air cleaner cover or air box around and tighten up the screws to hold the carburetor on. So I'll do that and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so I got the plate flipped around and put the screws back in, or the screw back in, and tightened up both screws so it's on there evenly now. So now what I'll do is grab the air cleaner, or the air filter and air cleaner cover, and put the air filter on there, see if it'll stay. Can my assistant hold that? Okay, now let go. So now I'll put the wing nut back on. See if I can do it with one hand here. There. Alright. So it's nice and tight. And the new primer bulb works well. So we'll give it a quick start and my assistant will hold the camera. So I'll just set the camera on the ground there. Alright, so we'll give it a quick start, see if it starts up, how easily it starts up. Well, it started up on the third or fourth pull. It's running good now. So, yeah, that new primer bulb works well. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions that I can answer, you can write a comment below the video. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good night.